Well, we're back with our friend Connor here for another chilly chat with Eric. How you doing, Connor?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well.
I now have a 10-second delay. It's fun. I'm going to just not look at that for a bit. Oh, breaks my brain.
So have you been...
Okay, so I missed last week. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so this whole level here was a pretend cult. I think I've talked to you about that before.
Yeah, the snakes.
Yeah, so they're all snake people. So we fought our way through here. It was tough. I had
Yeah,
two people die.
Mm-hmm.
I had to actually leave the entire place to go get resurrected because I had no money left.
I'm pretty sure I caught that part.
Yeah, so I had to walk through all of Dragon's Eye, which is just terrible. Uh, in this version, they also start having spots where monsters will respawn after you've killed them. So I've killed the same troll 6 times now. It's so annoying. Before in the original version, once you
sleep
clear,
for 6 weeks.
yeah, yeah. Let's do a day check. Day 285. Just to remind you, started on day 119 when I started doing that check. So we've been down here a long time.
Yeah.
So we've cleared out the first level of the cult, so the cult floor.
Okay.
Now we're going into. I'm sorry. I have to get my mind right. This next area is tough. It's really tough. So this odd little girl is going to keep showing up and saying weird things to us. She's actually an elder god that we're going to have to fight at the end of this level. So can't wait for that.
Gross.
Who are you, little girl? And then she's like, no, I'm just going to disappear. Oh, cool.
Okay.
So there's a ton of fighting down here. Ton of guys. Arrows are really, really key.
Greta Stromberg every time.
Yeah.
Oh shit! There's music.
All right, leave the music on. Turn back to avoid the tidal pull. Where'd you come from?
I thought it said old little girl, and I was like, that's a sort of giveaway, don't you think?
Yeah.
Odd little girl. Hey, Julia. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Lucia. Oh, I'm surprised that their caster didn't cast many spells. He just did one little one, it looks like. Now he's attacking me with his hands. That's weird.
What a dumb snake.
Yeah.
Does that snake have boobs? Is that what I'm seeing?
No armor?
The caster? No, the caster.
I don't think so. No, he's pretty flat-chested.
Okay, alright.
Maybe just you saw his fist or something?
Yeah, it looked like enormous anime titties. I was like, that is not acceptable. Move the camera so I'm not staring off into space here.
Yeah, so this is a really hard area. I'm not gonna mince words. There's gonna be a lot of traps that are gonna really mess up my day that I can't do anything about.
Okay. Can you then take a break, or will they respawn?
The traps, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, they don't go away. So even if you trigger them, you can re-trigger them over and over again. In this area, then most traps in this game aren't like that. But I'm pretty sure in this area, so I have a pretty decent memory actually of where the traps are because of my crazy photogenic memory. So I'm going to be able to remember some of them, well, not all of them, because you can't remember all of them. But I'm going to be able to avoid some of them. But
okay, good luck.
Yes, thank you.
So I finally watched House with a Clock in the Walls.
Yeah. How'd you like it?
I have some thoughts. It was interesting.
It was interesting, right?
But it made me pine for Nicolas Cage's masterpiece, The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
I've never seen that one.
It's much better. Oh, it's so much better. It's him and Jay Baruchel. Nick Cage and Jay Baruchel.
You know, actually, I have seen it.
Yeah. It's a good one. It's way better than Jack Black's. But Jack Black did a fine job. It is a kid's movie, etc., etc. The fact that they went super deep into the occult to get the fourth Prince of Hell is a little wild.
Yeah.
And
I kind of want to read the book. Or maybe it's a series of books. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. And then the hedge that just kept shitting on people was very strange.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, fine movie. There wasn't enough villainy, right? It was just sort of thrown in at the end and like, okay, there's a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt that strange. It wasn't...
Yeah. Which, if it's a book adaptation, it makes sense. They
Yeah.
obviously couldn't keep enough of the plot and what have you. But yeah, it was a fine movie. I'm probably never going to watch it again, but...
I watched it a bunch because my daughter.
All right.
She got really high into it. She thinks it's great. I really...
Have you been something weird with your eyes?
Oh, yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing for some reason. So I gotta squint a little bit.
See you on the...
Yeah, I gotta go to the doctor, I think, like the optometrist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're squinting like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like you keep closing your eyes.
No, they are open.
Okay.
I didn't really notice that the whirlwind got so damaged in that fight there. I'm gonna have to sleep for 2 weeks now to fix her up.
Have more snakes show up from outside.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that room. I don't want to wait for that poison to dissipate.
I really hope that the snakes don't breastfeed Julia.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I hope not.
It sounds awful. Yeah. Oof.
Please tell me what's wrong. Oh, there's traps in this room.
Too late. This game looks so fucking difficult.
You know what? It's not that bad. Like,
I mean, you've also made it more difficult. But...
Yes, that's really a big part of it. It's not usually this difficult. It's usually much easier. Yeah, that's good. I was able to convince some of them to follow me.
We split the party.
Yes. There's a lot of combats like that's the only way to win a lot of combats, to be honest. Let's do it that way. So these are +1 arrows that these guys are dropping. Okay. They're going to be very important to me later on at the end of this dungeon. They're very important.
Okay. I will keep an eye on them.
It's the only way to kill the Elder God, basically.
Well, for you.
Yes. Even in regular games, it's just such a...
Sorry, go ahead.
What were you saying?
Twitch flips our videos. So on Discord, I'm looking the right way, doing the thing. But then in Twitch, we're now reversed. So your mic is on the opposite side.
Are you looking at Discord?
Yeah, I watch Discord while you're playing.
Yeah, so in OBS, it's switched from... It's not...
Yeah, it's mirrored.
It's weird. Because it should be the same as my Discord.
It could be.
It is the same as my Discord.
Okay, yeah, so then my Discord's mirrored.
That's funny.
That is funny. I wonder why I do that. I don't know. I work with command line, not AV. Speaking of, fuck Microsoft.
What'd they do?
And fuck last week. Their DNS system was attacked. And I
really?
all of our company's websites on Azure DNS. And that was a shit show. Office 365 was down, all Microsoft services, Xbox Live, blah, 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 blah.
Jeez.
Their own DNS system got owned. Yeah. And the fucking root cause analysis was, sorry, we'll try to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Jeez.
Ooh. So, that was fun. And it always holds true. It's always DNS.
So a good tactic in this game is if you see a caster casting, you gotta try to hit him right away with your some of your range fighters, because you can often disrupt the spell while they're casting it.
Much like real life.
Yes. Yeah.
You see a wizard, poke him in the eye.
Obviously, it's the first thing you do every time.
Sorry, a boy witch. That was funny. That kid is a great actor, actually. He did a real good job selling that.
Yeah.
Watching his career with great interest. Did you finish The Expanse?
Yes, I'm done The Expanse. Very good show.
Nice. I'm still on
I'm
season
excited
4.
for the next season. You're on season 4? Oh my god.
I know. I haven't had time. It's on my list. But this week I have to prep and edit episode 20. Recording tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited for our recording session tomorrow.
Me too.
So let's talk about your prep. Like I don't think we've ever talked about how you prep a game. Like
I prep a game like I do everything else in my life, and that is last minute with many, many, many tabs open. I don't know. It's sort of different all the time. I'm always trying a different tool or a different approach to see if it works better for me or not. So it's never really the same. Kingmaker, thankfully, I can use the book at a bare minimum and just flip through it real quick.
Yeah.
I do have print copies of each of them just to do that. I've started putting my notes in that book as well, just so I don't have to look back and forth on a bunch of different things.
Do you have
using OneNote?
Do you use a paper book now, or
a paper book for the Kingmaker printed book? I'm using that.
You bought it?
Taking notes in that. I have a PDF that I printed off, but yeah, bought the PDF because they don't sell the print books anymore.
Yeah.
But I use that and a bullet journal alternative sort of thing, just to keep notes while we're going through it. Because I've started using that for work, and I find that very effective for my ADHD brain. So, yeah, it's always different. If I know roughly where you guys are going to go, I'll try to pick a map to use and then tweak it if I need to. If there's no functional map, I'll try to make one, and that never goes well.
You've got a couple of good ones from 2-Minute Tabletop.
2-Minute Tabletop. Yeah. Well, that guy's got hundreds of maps now, and I will exclusively make them work if I have to. I'll change it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're great maps, and he makes great stuff. And the guys he's got making tokens now are also excellent. So.
Yeah, I always plug him on Twitter when I see his stuff come up.
Yep, yeah, for sure. So that's it, really. I'll try to think of if there's a new character coming up, what I want them to be, or what they'll sound like. Although I don't normally do a character voice, I have my few that I go back to. And then I've got, I'll have the PFSRD open for creatures and their attacks and what have you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been sort of fly by the seat of my pants, and this was a huge thing to learn how to GM, and I did not learn very well. So.
Yeah, it's tough to figure out your style and stuff, right? Like, I'm very much similar to you. I work off mainly electronic. I never have the books. Shit. I think I have a spell for that.
I found I spend so much time digital that doing something physical makes it different enough to stick out, which I'm finding useful. So.
Yeah, so I know with like Monster of the Week, because we're not working off of because we're not working off of a preset adventure, because it's 100% homebrew, and because even the monsters are 100% homebrew, which I'm not used to. I don't like homebrew monsters. In my opinion, these really smart people who know this game in and out have made all these monsters. I can just choose one of those. So I've never homebrewed my own monster. I've never felt the need to homebrew my own monster. But with Monster of the Week here, they encourage you to do that, and so that's what I do for that game, because that's the whole point of that game. So like
He's
that
gonna be so upset to find out that we're not gonna fight a rock. To find out that we're not gonna fight a rock. Thunderbird or whatever he
Thunderbird.
keeps yelling. Yeah.
I I am on the fence about using Native American or First Nations Canadian stories
Uh-huh.
because I'm a white man.
Yep.
There is, I guess, when I ran this type of adventure before, I started doing a story that was based off of a Native American myth,
Mm-hmm. The
and
Wendigo?
no, it's called the Stone Man.
Another one.
It's obscure. It's not like, but it's in books and stuff like that. People have written about it. Basically, like a stone man, and it goes to attack a village, and they put like a line of like 7 menstruating women in front of him, which you can't cross. It's a really strange story. So I had taken a lot of that and made a character for it, and I'm really proud of that adventure, and like I just don't know if I can run it. It's just
Yeah.
it just feels, I don't know. Feel like I'm stealing.
I doubt it's. Yeah, I doubt it's the final step of colonization, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no.
I think there's a way to do it to pay homage without theft, right?
Yeah.
Why would that be any different than using what's the Japanese ghost? Name's got one on his arm.
Kappa?
Sure, I think so. But like, would that be any different if you use that flavorfully?
Yeah.
It's all based on where you are. It determines whether it's insensitive or not, or whether you're being insensitive.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to do a story in the Wild West because of a lot of the tropes and racism and things running around in the Wild West.
Yep.
So hopefully we do it respectfully.
I feel like you've done a fine job. Not everybody has to be like, just because we're using the accents and a time period doesn't mean it has to be exact.
Yeah,
and we're not doing the accents great either. So
no, we're doing like our crazy Canadian version of these accents. And also in my mind, like, failed to force a lock. I'm gonna have to come back for this next time I sleep. In my mind, we're not playing on Earth. We're playing on an Earth adjacent. So, sure. Like, slavery, racism, that's not in our world. So we're not ever going to touch that. We're not ever going to touch into that. Because why? Like, why bring that up if you don't have to? But,
yeah. I mean, is that whitewashing at that point then?
But my mind is, you can make any character any race in your as an audience member. You can treat any character as any race that you want. You can treat them as any gender you want, any history. I always liked what Mark Hamill said about Luke Skywalker, and this is how I try to approach my characters going forward too. Is like, if you need Luke to be like a homosexual, if that helps you, or if you, like that's the story you enjoy, then he's a homosexual. If you want him to be whatever, he's an everyman. That means he can be whatever you want him to represent. And I think that's how I'm approaching all of Hell's Horses. Every character in that can be anything you want. So I'm also starting to try, like, I didn't do it for our first session because I kind of thought of it later. But that's why, like, in our second session, people haven't heard it yet, but they will. Like, when they get introduced to, oh shit, what was her name again? One Shot. Darlene, is that her name?
I don't remember, but we just call her One Shot.
Yeah. So, but she's a female gunslinger. So, like, I'm gonna start trying to introduce more people that are not. We're gonna break down gender norms, basically. Like, so in our world, men and women can do every job. That's my hope.
It's good. Yeah, it's not something I think about that often. I've got my notes here. Let's see. Her name was Nope. I know him as Ace in One Shot. That's all I wrote down.
I think it's Darlene. Well, it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Oh well.
So yeah, generally when I'm doing Pathfinder, I like pen paper. Sorry, I like digital. When I'm doing Pathfinder, I have tabs open, like you said. I have all my monsters open on tabs. But when I'm doing Monster of the Week, it's been really nice. I bought a bullet journal for the game, not to bullet journal with, but just to keep this game.
It's a good note-taking system. I'm really enjoying it.
I don't really use the bullet journaling aspect of it. I just like the way they set up pages for bullet journals.
Yeah, me too.
It's a good way to do art. It's a good way to do lots of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would prefer running Monster of the Week games, personally, because that's more who I am as a person.
You'd want to run one?
Yeah. I probably prefer that over Pathfinder, honestly, because it's a lot less nitty-gritty prep, which I thought I would enjoy. Turns out, no, I don't enjoy it. But I do enjoy our game, Kingmaker, and I'm definitely going to run it through to completion, but it might be the last time I run Pathfinder. So.
Which isn't a bad thing. That's like
No.
you found out that you don't like the system, or
there's
like
so many options. There's so many games.
There's so many games. Yeah.
Like our friends over at Legends that just made their own superhero game.
Yeah.
It's rad. Super cool. I guess, are we doing that officially yet? Can we start telling people about it?
Yeah, people have already started hinting at it. So we can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. We're doing some work with some other Canadian podcasts for Canada Day. And it is a Herculean coordination effort, so kudos to the people pulling that off. I think there's 8 other podcasts involved, or 7 plus us.
I think it's 8 in total.
Yeah, plus a dice company, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool that they decided to include themselves in it.
Mm-hmm. Let me see, I've got it on the Discord here. So it's 8 plus us. So there's 9 total.
Wow.
Yeah. Adventure Dice, Us, Goblins and Gambles, God, Dicks and Puns, Legends, the superhero story, not presently deceased, Tabletop Titties, Tunnel Fission Games, Unearthed Arcanum, and Wonders and Blunders, which is the new feeds. And I'm very excited to play with them.
They don't sound like they're newfies.
No!
Yeah, I was listening to their podcast. I'm like, what? But it's because they're all city folk.
Oh, the transplants?
Yeah. No. They were all born in like St. John's-ish area apparently.
Okay.
And then they moved here, and like apparently like there's 2 accents in Newfoundland. There's like the city accent, which is like pretty easy to assimilate to the rest of Canada, and then there's like the you can't understand them accent. Because like I work with a Newfie as well, a Newfoundlander as well. And like she has an accent, pretty heavy accent, even though she's been here for 3 or 4 years as a transplant. Oh, so like when I was like listening to them, I expected the Wonders and Blunders folks to sound like my coworker, and they didn't. It's like, oh, this is weird, because she has some weird grammar things that she has going on as well.
Yep. Yeah, it's its own dialect. Honestly. Yeah. It's so much fun. Shame we're gonna miss that. What's up with the ghost?
Oh, she has I got a new cool magic item called the Shimmering Sash, so she constantly has blur cast on her.
Awesome.
So she's a lot harder to hit now as well.
Cool. The whirlwind.
Yeah, so it's kind of fitting for her to be a blur all the time.
Yeah, I like it.
Kind of want to play her in a one-shot or something sometime. She's pretty awesome.
Just set her up with Argyle.
Yeah. They would be best friends.
Hero. I miss Argyle.
I'm sure he'll make an appearance in Galaricon.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
not, I mean, it's a different Argyle because it's a different plane of existence, but...
Yep. There's an Argyle in every multiverse. It's fine.
I just want to touch on something that Khaleesi says here. Like, she says she's kind of tired of seeing her race get tortured. Yeah, that's why in Hell's Horses, like, I'm not going to torture any races. I'm not going to do anything like that because, like, why do we want to see that again? Like, I don't know. I'm not the person to tell that story or do that. Like, let's just have.
And a lot of people fetishize it too, which is super weird.
Yeah, let's just have some. Like, let's just go shoot some werewolves with some revolvers and ride some horses. Like,
yep. We don't need to do it on a plantation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just let people play their games.
Yes, right.
Yeah. I think we're on the right side of that. We're not.
I hope so.
Trying to be so period correct that we're offending people.
Yeah. I'd rather be incorrect and not offend anybody. Like, that way.
Yeah. I'm all for offending people in general. It's 100% on brand for me.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be offending people by their race. Offend them for their haircut. Have you seen that recently? The meme from Grand Theft Auto 5?
No.
The yee ass haircut. The internet latched onto that pretty hard. If you haven't played the game, it's meaningless, but it's just
I
a
haven't
line.
played the game.
Yeah, it's a line from the game.
This is the last video game I played. Like, I haven't played anything since Icewind Dale.
Minecraft.
Does that count?
Yeah, Minecraft's a video game.
I guess. So there's a couple rooms like this where it's just a whole bunch of enemies you're going to fight at once.
Mm-hmm.
This one's the easy one. The next one is going to have a guy in it that has this special bow that, like, you get to fire 1,000,000 arrows per turn.
Nice.
Are
there tournaments on this?
Yeah, it's just like D&D. It's just it's more. Oh no, this was the place. Never mind. I just got the bow.
Sweet.
Which I froze this guy with chromatic sphere, so it worked out that I froze him.
Nice.
Because otherwise he was going to lay down some damage. Maybe there's only one room like this. Maybe I'm wrong. Ooh, these are +2 arrows.
Ooh.
These are going to hurt some people. Yeah, so it's
That's
called the Messenger of Seth. 2 S's. It has 3 attacks per round. So it just, like, just murders people.
Is it pronounced Thac Zero or Taco?
I've always heard Thaco.
Thaco. I like
That might be wrong, though.
Taco. Taco. No, I can't do it.
Thaco.
Can't roll my R's. Just hiss like a cat.
Sure, that's right.
Yeah, this fucking interface is dog shit. Every time I see it, it's a mess. I've actually been playing For the King.
For the King?
For the King. It plays like a board game, but we're playing it on the PC. But
okay.
It's a 3-player game, which is first and foremost very strange.
Mm-hmm.
And then you each control a character, which you pick a class for, either a strength, a luck, or whatever class base. And then you just adventure. You go fight monsters out on the open world, go into dungeons to do the dungeon, you collect loot, you do all that stuff. It's like a little D&D club, and it is phenomenal. Great art, lots of fun.
It's really cool.
Very easy to play. The cams for this look like a loving dad agreeing to play video games with his estranged son, and it's beautiful. That's rude, Beefy. Eric's not that much older than me. I can't grow facial hair, that's all.
Yeah, you little man-child.
Yeah, I know.
We were talking about facial hair in men with my daughter because we recently bought Guess Who. So that's one of the questions we use a lot for men. Do they have facial hair? And she was asking me, like, do all men grow facial hair? I'm like, well, not all men. You know, Uncle Connor?
Yeah, he does not grow facial hair. He was not blessed with his mother's beard.
No. Your mother has a stronger beard than you. That's funny.
No, that's just a mean joke, I say. And she hates it.
I have a twin sister.
Did she also have a beard?
No, she was born 13 minutes after me. And I always made a really common joke. Like, when people would find out, I'm like, yeah, she was born 13 minutes after me. Those were the best 13 minutes of my life. That's what I like to say.
Yep.
You were there during my wedding.
Shooting yourself.
You were there during my wedding when she, like, used that in her wedding speech, right? Do you remember what she said?
No.
She said, like, Eric liked to make that joke, but I'm sure now that he's marrying his wife, these are now the best minutes of his life. So it was cute that she turned my comment
stood up and lied.
Nope, still
the best.
Still the best.
Oh, man. I know I look young. I actually turned 30 last week. And the most upsetting part about not having facial hair is I have gray nostril hairs, and it is bullshit. It's just, ugh. I get grayer every week, too.
That's insane.
Yeah. Fortunately, I'm not balding yet.
Oh, you.
Who are you?
Oh, you couldn't see him. That's why you weren't attacking him. I was wondering, like, why this guy was not doing his job. And now I know. He could not see him.
So just accidentally pull the hair out and put it in my eye. That was fun.
So I'm pretty sure there's a couple traps in this room, so I gotta be really careful. I've already triggered a couple. I'm pretty sure this big square here is a trap. Maybe this big square.
The square or the circle?
The square tile floor here. And this tile floor here too.
Yeah.
It's difficult when there's traps and enemies attacking at the same time. I hate when the game does this.
It's D&D.
Airfix experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, experienced, like a classy prostitute.
Who is not doing their job?
Have you seen Grandma's Boy?
Yeah, yes.
They stoners and they're working at a video game development company. And the guy's like 40. And they call him Grey Bush.
So I just sprung a trap, 2 traps there.
Mm-hmm.
One of my guys got poisoned.
Okay.
Oh, awesome. And the only person who can cure poison... Oh, no, never mind, I'm fine. I have an elixir. But my other person, the whirlwind, is confused. So now she's going to start attacking people.
Oh, no. And she's invisible. That's good.
So I need to run away. Can I close? Oh, thank God. So
my wife and I were playing the first Mario Party.
Okay.
And it is infinitely more punishing than anything you've encountered here today.
Why is he dying? Sorry.
What's going on?
I don't know. He's just dying. It doesn't say that he's poisoned. I'm gonna give him an elixir.
Is he bleeding?
No, he has no. Like, it would show here. It says Bard Song. It would show like whatever's going on, but he's just taking damage.
Let's see if he dies.
He's about to die. before he drinks the poison.
Yep.
Oh, the whirlwind's poisoned. So he must have been poisoned and just didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's okay. Okay, I'm going to quick
Nice.
save it before anyone else dies.
Everything came out no house.
More poison. Need more of these potions.
Yeah, actually, I think we're gonna have to play For the King together at some point. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, it sounds good. I have a real
think
hankering to play. Oh, there's another guy in here. I slept. Let's just see how long I slept here for a second. I slept for 17 days. 20 feet from this. Video games make no sense.
Oh man.
That's so good. Did you ever hear of a game called Heroes of Might and Magic?
Yes.
I used to play that back in the day, and I have a real hankering to try that game out again.
Is it a board game?
No, it's a computer game, but you're presented with a map, and you have heroes that each turn they can go certain distances and check different things out, and sometimes they can recruit guys, or sometimes they have to fight monsters or fight heroes from other kingdoms. It was a pretty fun game.
Okay. The art sort of reminds me of, I think it's Majestic Magica.
Yeah.
I'll go find it. But it's the one where you just tell people to go do stuff. You set quests. Majesty 2. So you set the quest, and then someone will pick it up and go do it, rather than you clicking around and doing it.
Oh, cool.
I really like that. That was a good play on that.
So these things are called histashi. They're made from people, the corrupted people.
Ooh. They look like lizards.
Yeah.
They also stay
Oh, I
out
don't
there
have my
staying
AI
put.
turned on. I'll do it.
Just watching that guy get fucked up. So the whirlwind woman, was that mistaken?
Sorry?
I use guy unisexually anyways. I just don't remember if the whirlwind is a woman or not.
She's a woman.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the picture I chose for her.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's metal.
Very grim.
Yeah.
She's almost like Drizzt to Erden. Almost like two swords. Half elf. He's a full elf though, but still.
Yeah.
I was reading some people saying that Dungeons and Dragons was all downhill after Drizzt. He wrecked things. I was like, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
They're saying that before Drizzt, that Dungeons and Dragons would reference history or other games, but then a certain point, and it can coincide with when Drizzt, there was so much lore of Dungeons and Dragons that it became self-referencing and building off itself, where it wasn't pulling in from anywhere else anymore. It was just a stupid take on everything.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got an opinion.
Yeah, everyone's got opinions.
Well, wasn't Magic's first expansion was Arabian Nights, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
There's a
then
lot of racist cards that came out of that set.
There's a lot of racism in Magic's history, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's just more once you have your own body of work, obviously you don't need to pull from elsewhere.
Yeah.
You've got a rich background, why not use it?
That's the surprising thing about Magic is they keep inventing new worlds. So they're not reaching back to their history as much.
Yeah, and making their own worlds just based on popular mythos, right?
Yeah.
Theros was a great Greek and Roman god set. It was very cool. This new one, Strixhaven, looks pretty nifty too.
There's a lot of they're getting a lot of people yelling at them and like getting angry with them because the main character, his name's Killian, I think.
Okay.
Is Asian inspired and Asian themed, and they gave him like the overbearing, you have to get straight A's type of dad in the storyline. So a lot of people are just like, oh, great way to play up the stereotypes.
I mean, Asians don't have a lock on straight A dad, right? Like
But it's a common.
Yeah, I see that as a common thread.
Like, I don't know, anytime that, like, yeah, it's lazy writing. Anytime you see, I don't know, I've watched a lot of Gilmore Girls with my sister back when it first came out, and then with my wife now because she likes Gilmore Girls, and like, there's an Asian character in that, and of course she has a strict mom who makes her do blah blah blah. We'll let her be in the band. So
yeah,
but like, there's tons of stuff like that.
I've seen that occur many times in real life.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
it's a cultural thing less than a race thing.
And I think there's a lot of. I see it a lot. I know I've seen it with. In high school, I would notice that with people whose parents were immigrants and then they were born here. You see them trying to push them to be better. And like, that's the whole reason they came to Canada, was to give their kids a better life. So. You kind of get it.
Well, I'm first generation on my mother's side.
Oh, really?
She's a fairly typical immigrant mother.
Where is she from?
Scotland.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, she was born in Scotland, spent some years in Barbados, I believe, and then came to Canada.
Crazy.
And then she also lived all over Europe when she was a teenager.
Wow.
That's a different story.
Oh, there's a secret room here. I don't know if I'll be able to see it.
Julia claims that Latin parents are like that too. I think that really just points to, we came here to give you a better life. You better do everything you can about it.
Yeah.
Magic is inherently and historically very, very racist, so I don't think they get the pass anymore. But also, I'm not going to get worked up over it.
Yeah.
I'm also not really playing Magic anymore. So.
They came up with that new app, Spell Table.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can play with my brother.
That app.
Yes, right. They bought that app, Spell Table. That app came out. Okay, so the secret room here is like a torture chamber, and this guy's blind, so you can lie to him about who you are. My eyes are no longer strong. Have you come as a student or a patient? A student, of course. Like, come on. So this is where we get to hear the name Yuxaname for the first time. She's the little girl. So the elder god. She's named Yuxaname.
Jesus. I'm sure it is your reptilian monster.
Yeah, and then he's like, "You're imposters." It's like, "Yeah, I am."
I'm just gonna leave this room now. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm
just gonna throw a fireball in here. Cool. Oh, he saved for his spell. He only took 11 damage, the jerk.
It looked like 11 and 22.
I think he cast Bane on me, which is like not that big of a deal at this point in the game.
What does it do?
It's like a -1 to hit. It's like, okay. So you negate one of my bards. Like, who cares?
Oh, where do snakes come from?
That's bad, though. She is getting hurt. That's the weird part is, like, yeah, he's blind, but these guys aren't blind. So why didn't they attack me? Come on.
I didn't realize they were in the room.
They were behind him, so you couldn't really see them.
No, see.
This combat's going a lot worse than I thought it was going to, actually.
That's what you get.
Why aren't you doing... Ooh, wow.
I really hate that the COVID app will just throw up a giant red fucking warning sign to say, hey, we're still looking. Yeah. Every time.
Sorry, the whirlwind just died.
Good.
Good. What?
Let the hate flow through you. Did you lose another one? Cauldron?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Auto paused. Reason dead.
Yeah. These guys are no joke.
Can you bring them back?
I can. I might not have enough money actually for both. That would suck.
I guess you'll have to go adventuring for money.
Like, I have stuff I can sell. It's just...
Go kill boars.
No. This is not going well.
Good thing you auto-saved. Or quick save or whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna still load it, I think. Yeah, jeez. Jeez Louise. These guys are tough.
Hmm?
Oh, I'm gonna load. That was rough.
Throw more fireballs.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
When in doubt.
Really, honestly, that is what this game's about.
Did you ever get to see that webtoon I sent you? It's called The Weekly Roll.
No.
It's a comic. So it's talking about the backstory of the rogue. It's just giving his whole backstory. And then the druid is like, no, it's great. I love how edgy it is and how worthless your character development is. Please keep going. And it just makes me think of Marcus every time.
Yeah,
What, the rogue is an orphan? Who would have thought?
There's a lot of people pushing back online saying, like, and this is I agree with this point actually, but it's like there's a lot of like huge long backstories for a level 1 character. And that's why Baynard is so light on his backstory. He hasn't done anything cool up to this point. This is the Kingmaker's the coolest thing he's ever done. So of course he's level 1. Whereas everyone else is like, they've done this and they've adventured, and it's like it makes sense to do a backstory like that if you're starting out as like a level 7 character, but like
yeah, you're nobody.
Yeah.
You get one paragraph. If you can't say it in one sentence, it's too much.
Yeah.
I agree. I 100% agree. But also, people want to do the fantasy thing, so I get that as well. That's how I play my characters, is like as blank of a slate as it can be, fill it in as we go. Either with things that come up that reveal, oh yeah, I guess that did happen in the past, or things that are happening moving forward. Like Bert's character, literally nothing. I had the name and the fact that he was going to be a weird little gnome thing.
Bert's awesome though.
I love Bert.
He's turning out okay. This is going better. So I've already killed the high torturer.
Nice.
This guy is uninjured though, so I guess he was far enough away from the fire bolts for it not to matter. Oh wow! So I cast some summon monsters, but that spell takes a while to cast.
Yeah.
And then someone else cast haste right when the summon monsters appeared, so they got hasted in time.
That's
with
good
it.
timing,
So
yeah.
this is going to be drastically different.
That's good. You were saying something about Bert. Tell me more about Bert.
Bert is awesome.
He's turning out to be
just a really good character. Like you're really finding him, which is really cool. And like I really like ever since finding out about Monster of the Week and playing that, there like one of the principles of that game is play to find out. And I think we're all doing a really good job of doing that with our Golaricon characters.
Yeah.
And I hope we can continue that in every phase of our role playing. It's making me reevaluate how I set up adventures and everything to a certain degree.
Yeah. Well, you guys took a completely different path with the episode coming out tonight that I was not anticipating.
Yeah, I'm excited to listen back to that, actually.
I think it was Monster of the Week's influence as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love Bert. I'm really hoping he turns out to be the big bad evil guy. That's my hope.
I know it's going to be a long time till we play again for Golaricon. I am excited to continue that story, though.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of... The way I have it planned out, I'm excited to explore that storyline. And especially with how you guys have been tackling it so far. I'm not going to... You're a smart guy, so I feel like if I say any more than what I've said, you're going to start figuring shit out.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk about more, but I hope we get back to it. And I hope we can... I hope we can get it to a resolution. And I hope it's not the ending that I've thought of. I hope it's an ending that you guys have thought of, ideally.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I find that's actually one of the hardest parts of being a dungeon master or a game master, is that I cannot share my thoughts with anyone anywhere for fear that it will come back to you guys.
So, I agree wholeheartedly. I understand that feeling.
Yeah.
Do you know who I end up talking a lot of this stuff out with? I end up talking to my mom a lot about my storylines for Hell's Horses specifically.
It's interesting.
My mother is a very well-read woman.
True.
She reads nonstop. She's cleared out sections of the library.
Yeah.
Where she walks in the section and she's like, I've already read all these books and I'm on round 2 for some of them. She's told me there's times where she's like reading a book and halfway through she's like, I've already read this book. What the fuck's wrong with me? Like, so
I've done that. Yeah, I get that.
So I'll run. Oh my god! Sorry, I'm trying to walk backwards to go get a chest that's locked because I've rested. So now I can cast knock again.
And here's this.
And there's just a random snake guy. So I was hoping to send this guy all by himself.
Yeah, can't do that.
Maybe I can.
Ooh.
He's got haste cast on him.
Yeah, I mean, you're moving real quick.
So
a little elf. Yeah, I'm sure Beth would be able to provide some pretty good insight.
Right, so that's what we were talking about. She provides a lot of like historical insights and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, and like she's read so many things that like she has some good points of view, and she's so nice that she'll sit there and listen to me spout on.
Say, I can't imagine Beth like purposely listening to you talk about that shit. And I'm not sure I've heard it sane.
She's just really nice lady. She loves her kids, so she will put up with it. Whereas I know my wife won't.
Yeah.
So I don't even try. Whereas my mom, I know she'll sit like, and she finds it mildly interesting, and she will humor me. So I get to like, especially like there have been a couple that I've written for House Horses that I'm like super excited to run with you guys, and I've run those by her, and she's like, "Yeah, that's a cute story. I like that." And then she throws some history at me that's helped me tweak some of my. Oh my god! Sorry, this is just fucking.
All this way. I told you I'm going to be starting a sports league in Kingmaker, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what sport it's going to be yet. I'll probably go for one from the internet, but I've named so many nearby towns and their sports teams, and I just can't wait to use them. I can't tell anybody because then they'll know.
Yeah.
I could tell my wife, and she might forget, but she convinced me to tell her something coming up, and she didn't forget. That's her whole claim to fame, is that she'll forget everything I tell her.
Yeah.
She lied. So now I can't tell her anything. So.
Jeez, man. What a liar.
It's fine. But yeah, I've got so many plans for you guys. If you make it that far, that is. The Main City Bitch Pigeons.
What a name, eh?
I'm sad that one didn't win for the Seattle hockey team. Would have been very good. That's really what spurred the whole sports team.
Yeah.
Thing was a thread on Reddit of just all of those names that people loved and didn't make it through. This is so good. Battle Cattle.
Battle Cattle?
Gonna make it in. Battle Cattle. For the
That's
running.
fantastic.
Very excited about that one. Yeah.
All to get this shitty treasure. It's probably not even worth it. It's probably trapped too, and I'll probably go unconscious. Yeah.
You dumb son of a bitch.
This wasn't worth it.
What'd you get?
Nothing. Like 30 gold, a shitty potion. I'm not even. I loaded it. And I loaded the game, and I'm walking away without opening it. I loaded pre-trap.
Oh, I see.
So it's
just a waste of time. Then.
It's a huge waste of time. Plus, now that I've cast haste on my guys, they're all tired, so I have to sleep.
So back to Bert.
Back to
Bert,
yes.
Because he's been claimed to look like a Canadian, a South Park Canadian, which is
Yeah.
fair. I am Canadian.
It's good.
But I started doing the voice before my wife started watching The Good Doctor.
Okay.
With the autistic kid that is now like a world-renowned surgeon or whatever's going on. I don't know. But Bert sounds a lot like this kid.
Really?
And and I heard it on the show and I went, oh no, what have I done? I've given him the same cadence and mannerisms as someone playing an autistic person. Yikes.
Yeah.
But I can't go back on it. Like, it's Bert.
Yeah, but it strangely works for Bert.
Make him more Yoda-y. Yeah, I think so. I think Bert might be a little autistic. It's sort of in the cards.
He's pretty obsessed with destroying things.
Mm.
The egg was really cool. I like listening to that.
Oh, yeah. It's a good scene. Again, I'm going to make him a witch. I'm going to make every chance I can.
Which is like... Let's just talk about that for a second. So...
Okay.
Which is really interesting that you're thinking of going that direction with him. So, I mean, liches are like the most evil thing in the universe, in the lore, basically, and especially in the eyes of Pharasma, who is the main goddess that we're dealing with in this whole story. She's kind of chosen you guys to be her instruments in a way.
Yep.
Even though you don't even worship her, she's grabbed you guys, 3 people who don't worship her, and like look at Solomon. He's got ghosts falling around, which are like, again, for Pharasma, ghosts are like, that shouldn't fucking exist, and she has whole groups of like paladins and clerics that go hunt undead and try to kill them, and the fact that she's grabbed 2 of the 3 of you are like, have it in your mind to like, well, I mean, Loman's isn't on purpose that we know of, but like, that's a really cool, interesting thing for me to play with going forward, and I'm very excited. When Liam did the whole ghost thing was hilarious.
That was so good. I still have not laughed that hard in a long time.
Yeah.
That fucking got me so good.
Every time he brings it up. But like the fact that you want to take Bert in that direction too is really exciting for me as a dungeon master, because it gives me so much to work with.
Mm-hmm. One of the heralds of Nethys is a lich.
Yeah.
So
you're not going against your god. and she
No, in
she
fact,
knows that.
I think he's gunning for the second spot. Like
Maybe.
why not? See where it goes.
Maybe Nethys is even pushing you too, right? By giving you that hammer. So like, there's a lot of stuff going on with you guys and gods. And again, I'm going to stop talking about it because you'll start figuring this shit out. But like, that's really exciting to me. That's your kind of your aim and your goal, and like how I'm going to work that into shit too. Even like with Razmir, it's oh my god.
That's a lot of snakes.
Yeah, this is where you pull out the fireball.
Cloud kill? Cloud kill.
I don't have Cloud Kill. I don't overly like Cloud Kill, to be honest.
I mean, we used it a lot in college. Just walk into the store.
Yeah. I think Eric, as a DM now, would handle that whole encounter so differently.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was 10 years ago, so...
Yeah.
Yikes.
There's a lot of, like, aspects of that would play out differently, too.
I mean, we wouldn't have a party of 15.
Yes.
Let's start with that.
So I think at our height, I think there was 9 players at one point.
Yeah.
And in our second campaign, in my completely homebrewed campaign. And that was awful. Just awful. Never do that.
I think 6 is too many.
Even 5, in my opinion, pushes it. 3 or 4 is really nice.
I like our 3-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as everyone gets enough time to be who they want to be.
Yeah, I always worry that I'm taking up too much time when I'm playing.
You're in a game with Liam, so you literally cannot take up...
Right. So I always have that to help.
Yeah, and Taylor's always a little less talkative, which is normal and expected. Can't be equally split, but... I think there's one episode where you've spoken more than Liam in Kingmaker. And I think that was because Liam's audio was trashed.
So, that's funny.
It's fun. And you're the king.
How am I the king? Like, that still blows my mind.
A series of poor choices.
Yeah.
I was fully anticipating Marcus, but he didn't want the role, so...
Baynard... Oh... These priests are way tougher than I thought they would be.
Fireball.
I tried a fireball. That's why they're all at like half health.
Another one.
Another one. That would kill my guys.
That's fine. They're gonna die anyways. Might as well be a blaze of glory.
Actually, I don't even have another fireball memorized.
Oh, well. You just forget how to cast fireball?
Spell slots. I only have the one spell slot at level 3. I might just load it. Walking back to the Resurrector person is so far right now. I'm just going to load. I'm going to retry this one.
Julia claims that she couldn't tell your voices apart, you and Eric.
Me and Kimble?
Which I find surprising, because Kimball's like the most accented out of us.
Yeah.
All this time under the coast.
I wouldn't think that I sound like Kimble.
Yeah.
But like I know my voice and I know Kimball's voice. Like they're human beings that, like I know for me, I started listening to another actual play podcast recently that your brother suggested, and there was 2 guys for the first 2 episodes I could not tell them apart. After that, it was enough that I know their voices now. But at the start, I was like, which one is talking right now? I do not know. For the life of me, gun to my head, I do not know.
I find even listening back to, like, I'll record something and I thought I've put a lot of inflection into it, and then I listen back and it's just this monotone thing that's just how I talk. It doesn't matter what I do with my voice. It's just that. So I was just like, oh, what the hell? Why am I even trying at this point? I can just talk a little louder and I'll be fine. Kimple's got a bit of an East Coast accent.
He's got a little bit of one.
Yeah, so Julia's asking what accent. He's lived in... He grew up in Ontario and then moved out here for work. I'm also in Nova Scotia now for the next little while. But I find that they're a lot harder on the end of their words.
Oh,
so,
really?
like the word but, they'll really hit that T. And boat, they really hit that T. There's a lot of T's in all of it.
Well, keep in mind, though, in Ontario, we hate T's.
Yes.
Like Toronto. Like,
yeah.
Fuck it. Fuck that second T.
DRONO.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's once you hear it, you can kind of pick it out each time, especially the East Coast one. And Kimple's wife also has fallen into that accent pretty heavily, so it's something I can't unhear anymore. And then my wife's family in PEI, they're even worse. I think it's just an aggressive Canadian accent.
I find I notice accents in West, like prairie people most. That's where I pick it up the most.
Yeah, they're sort of stereotypical Canadian as well. It's amazing how each of the stereotypical Canadian accents evolved independently, but they're still pretty similar.
Yeah.
Ontario and like metropolitan areas being the exception, where we just sound like Californians because we consume so much American media. But yeah, most Canadian accents are fairly similar.
Yeah.
And the whole a boot thing is drastic out here.
Yeah.
Like, born and bred Nova Scotians say fucking a boot. And it is strange. It's very weird. It's a very different country over here. Yeah, what you talking about? And then Newfie even further. I worked with a Newfie guy that cut off his finger.
Really? It sucks.
His favorite expression was Lord Thunder and Jesus.
Lord Thunder and Jesus. It's pronounced Newfoundland by.
There you go.
That's my key phrase for the Newfie accent.
Yeah, it's and he said it all the time, and it's just been in my brain. Just this middle-aged man going, Lord Thunder and
Jesus. So
make that noise with your face.
I work with another young lady.
It's like he's always chewing on a pipe.
Oh yeah. I work with another young lady whose family is from Newfoundland, and I like to joke around with her. And whenever I'm around her, I call it Newfoundland because that's how it's spelled. And she gets so mad at me, and then she sent me just the text of someone who spelled out Lard Thunder and Jesus. It's Newfoundland boy, and I crack up every time I see that because she yells at me all the time. It's not Newfoundland, you bastard. She gets really mad at me. It's really fun.
But it is a newfound land.
Yeah, it's Newfoundland. Change the spelling then.
It's not finned. It's not a fish.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not popular with people from Newfoundland.
I'm not popular with anybody.
I was gonna say, my daughter likes you for some reason.
Yeah, I'm fun.
Yeah.
Right? I'll pick her up and throw her around, whereas most adults are afraid to throw a child. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Agreed. So, what I ended up doing for this fight is I walked a little bit in the room. I threw some summons in there, some goblins and beetles.
Yep.
Then I walked out of the room and closed the door. And then I slept for 8 hours.
At least it was only 8 hours.
The reason I did that was because all of the priests had cast buff spells on themselves. Something called Strength of 1, which gave them all 19 strength, which is better than all my guys' strengths. Okay. So I slept for 8 hours so that those spells would wear off. And it'd become a much easier fight.
There you go.
So, it's not always about fighting fair. Sometimes it's about fighting dirty.
Yeah.
Gotta fight smart.
Julia's noted that everything in Spanish is pronounced the way it's written. Welcome to English. English does not give any sort of a fuck what you think it should be.
English is awful language.
It
It's
is a
so
bastardized. Yeah.
massive.
My favorite quote for English was English has taken a language into the alley, beaten it senseless, and rifled through its pockets. And then it just came up with a language by doing that. And it is
That's really
absolutely true.
Yeah.
Right? We're just a bastardization of every other language around it. My favorite is the word and. It is both perfect French and perfect German mashed into one word.
Which word?
So we don't like either. And this and that. A and und. And. Thanks, English.
Who does axes? Oh, shoot. That's foolish of me.
What'd you do wrong?
Infected two-handed axe +2. The target is infected with disease. 1 damage every 2 seconds indefinitely. That's cool. We're gonna sell that. There's a few weapons in the game, so that are returning. So it's a throwing axe that returns. So it's unlimited ammo for a ranged weapon, which is great. The range is less than the range of a bow, but that doesn't usually matter. My problem is that my best bowman is Greta Stromberg. But she's also my axe wielder, so that wasn't smart on my part to double up the axes with. So I'm probably gonna end up giving someone else proficiency with axe so that they can carry this around and not have to worry about ammo, which I'm running out of actually. Ooh. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm running out of arrows. Should have bought more. Anyways, time to sleep for 2 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
13 days! Alright!
Oh man, it's never not funny.
Yeah. Can I turn this off? Like, this game.
So, Eric, I'm only able to share this stupid comic through Twitter, so I'm going to tag you in it.
Cool. I like stupid things.
I don't know what your tag is. Ruad?
Eric the Ruad. It's Gaelic for red.
Yeah, R-U-A-H-D?
R-U-A-D-H. R-U-A-D-H.
D-H.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wizard of Eric. Yeah, I tried to share it to you through other means yesterday and the other day, and it did not work, so please enjoy that comic.
I can't wait to find out what it is about.
It's about Marcus.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
Taylor's Marcus. Not a real person named Marcus.
I can't wait for Marcus to kill Baynard.
I'm amazed that that hasn't popped off. Really surprised.
You know, it almost did in our finale for season 1.
Yep.
Part of me regrets not doing a big fight there, but at the same time, I really dislike PvP versus players. Really dislike it. I think it's not fair to anyone, and it's also like not fair of me to like surprise Taylor with that without talking with him first and making sure that he's okay with it. I think knowing Taylor, I think he would have been fine with it, but I still think that there's a level of mutual respect, and it's also, do we want that in our podcast? Do we want, like, sorry, my dog's having a dream.
I can hear him growling.
So it's like, so this is dangerous. There's two people confused right now from a trap. So like they're attacking each other. One of them's poisoned. I'm loading. This is stupid. Stupid game. Who even plays this game? So I have to walk carefully through this door because it's like right in the center of the door. So yeah, I think when it comes to PvP, I'm against it. I would never want it in my own tables. Unless it was like a talked about thing beforehand.
Yeah.
And I was like, also,
I would have allowed it.
I felt bad about it in that situation, mainly because like I already had my weapon out and was ready for the fight, and he didn't. So like in that situation, I already have a leg up against him.
Mm-hmm.
And also knowing
he's not a face-to-face fighter, or face-to-face fighter either. So.
Yeah, so like he's got no one to give him flanking to get those sneak attack damage. So like he might have been able to do well with grappling me. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It'd be a hard fight.
Yeah.
And if I was managed to get like hold person off on him, like game over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we saw that already.
Oh no! You stupid idiot! Don't walk through that door.
Julia wants Marcus and Baynard to be in a relationship.
Yeah, Marcus and Baynard. Okay.
We talked about that a few times, actually, haven't we?
Jokingly.
Yeah. Got that love-hate thing going on. I don't know what OTP means.
I don't either.
Yeah. Come on, Gen Z. Like over the top. I think it's something transit protocol. I don't know. Ontario toilet paper. I figured out what it was that Nova Scotians call Ontario that I couldn't remember the other day.
What is it?
They call it Onterrible.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. You did tell us that earlier.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah, it was really funny.
It is very funny. They do not like us.
Yeah.
Very clear.
I get it, though. Like, does a lot of America hate New York?
Oh, probably.
I feel like they have to.
Middle America hates the coastal elites, period.
Yeah.
Without realizing that most of New York is below the poverty line. But,
yeah.
Yeah, so I just tell them that the good ones move to Nova Scotia. And that gets a good laugh, and then I'm in the clear.
What do you say?
I say the good ones move to Nova Scotia.
Ah,
that's
good.
One true pairing. That's what OTP means. And then something about Kim Possible, which I don't know what that is.
Shago?
I don't know.
Doesn't she, like, marry that Ron guy?
Search me. I have no idea.
This guy's called the High Baptist.
They're high everything here. This is just a weed snake. What is going on here?
Yeah.
And who's in the wall? Shit, it's almost 9:30.
It is almost 9:30. We're not going to be fighting another god today. I'll tell you that.
That sucks. I guess I'll have to watch next week.
Yeah.
Who do you have on next week? You got somebody...
Oh, that's exciting. Let's talk about that for a second.
People,
Let me pull up my notes here. It's a gentleman from Twitter that's I've been talking with for a long time. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to pull up my note.
I'm pretty sure.
I know that a friend of mine from Twitter is coming on the show. I'm pretty sure he is next week. Yes. So his handle on Twitter is Comanche Brave.
Oh, nice.
So he's been. I think he listens to the show and stuff. So
yeah, he followed Twitch 22 days ago. He's still on the activity feed of people who have followed Twitch
because it's a low. And then we have Logan from TF Games. He's one of the people doing the Canada Day project with us. And then we have Robbie Weiss.
That's Tunnel Vision, right?
Yes, Tunnel Vision Games. Vision Games. And then the other one is Robbie Weiss. He's the DM for the... One second. I got it on my phone here. Podcasts. Dungeon Initiative podcast.
Okay, I haven't heard of them yet.
They're pretty good. I've listened to a couple of his episodes. He seems like a pretty good DM. What I really liked is how he introduced his characters. It was kind of like, so it was a bit choppy, but the idea of it was pretty sound. And as someone who was starting to listen to a podcast, it's actually helped me solidify the characters a lot better.
Okay.
So he started doing some action, and as each of them wanted to come do an action in that like scene, he'd stop that scene, and then he played a one-on-one little mini session that he had done with that person previous. Okay. So it was good because then the person got to talk to him and be like, okay, my character's this, they look like this. They got to do a few little actions so you can have them really solidified in your mind. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot easier to like, whereas that other podcast telling you where there's those two guys where I was like, I don't fucking know who's who here. I didn't have that problem with his. Like, I knew who his characters were, and it was really, I really liked it. It was really cool. So I can't wait to talk to him on the show about stuff like that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to people that aren't us being involved.
Yeah.
It's nice when you had Tyler on.
Yeah, it was nice to have Tyler on. I hope to have him on again. I know his work schedule changed, so it's going to be harder, I think. But, yeah. So I'm pretty sure there's a way that... So these people are possessed. I think there's a way... If I kill this guy... Ooh, I'm going to turn that off. I feel like if I kill this guy, then they go back to normal.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You can do that. You'll kill him. That works for me. Oh, you should not be this person.
I forgot to show you how to put the chat in the video.
Yes, we'll have to fix that for next week.
We'll do that here. So that when we export, it will be present. You can actually set it up so that it records a different layout than it does streaming, so you can record the chat into it.
Oh, cool.
And then upload that instead of relying on us to remember to download from Twitch. Did you kill the guy?
Yeah, I killed him. So see, now they're all blue.
Yep.
Not attacking me. Not enemies. So I can turn my AI back on safely and not killing more of these people.
It's not D&D if you don't slaughter innocents.
Yeah, right?
Oh, I spend way too much time sitting.
Do you have a standing desk yet?
I do. I hate music.
Thanks for delivering delivering us from that spell of these evil creatures. I guess it was hard to not kill some of us to get to him. Yeah, well, sorry about that. You win some, you lose some. I apologize for the casualties incurred. At least you're safe. You win some, you lose some. That's going to be my answer. Yeah, a whole bunch of experience.
Sweet.
That's going to be needed for what's coming up soon. I think there's nothing in here.
Just a weird winged snake.
Yeah. Weird statue.
So, if you were to be given a blessing, what would you be? What's the word? B-L-E-S-S-E-D. How do you pronounce that?
If you're blessed?
Blessed.
There's lots of people that pronounce it blessed.
Blessed, yes.
Fucked. Fuck you.
It's, to my understanding, that's the British.
Okay.
It's the English, proper English. It's a blessed day. Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a blessed day. No, get out.
Yeah,
it's like what
I have so many mixed up words in my brain because of British English.
Yeah. I think that happens a lot in Canada in general. If you're a person who if you don't do the TV pronunciations of things, if you get your pronunciations for the people around you more,
mm-hmm.
I think that happens a lot. It's kind of like with Blessed. It's kind of like that the ED separates the second S away from the first S. It's kind of how they're treating that word. Yeah.
I'll say words, and then my wife will look at me and be like, "What the fuck is that word?" And I'll say it with the American pronunciation, and she goes, "Why wouldn't you just say it that way?" Like eloquence and eloquence.
Yeah. Which way is the right way?
Well, it depends on who you ask. An eloquent person is from America. Eloquence is more British.
Oh, that's awful. So not everyone leveled up because I've had so many character deaths. So
get fucked.
Only 2 people leveled up there.
Oh, that's rough.
Brutal. It's brutal. But I'm close with pretty much everyone, except for Balgra. He's pretty far behind, like way far behind.
Yeah, he's out in the front, right?
He's died like 6 times now. Where I've resurrected him, where I haven't like lowered the game.
Fuck.
So we're almost at the end game here.
Like just this dungeon. Though,
just right? This dungeon. There's still. Let's go to the map real quick. Nope, wrong button. The world map here. So, East Haven over here.
Done quite a bit.
East Haven's where we started. This is the first town.
Mm-hmm.
We went through the past and we ended up in Kaldahar. Mm-hmm. We've done the Vale of Shadows. The Temple of the Forgotten God was a really small mini dungeon. Now we're in Dragon's Eye. From Dragon's Eye, we're going to end up traveling down to this glacier. Through the glacier, there's a really cool aquarium on the top of this glacier that's frozen. So it's got all these frozen sea creatures in it. It's really amazing. You travel through the glacier in order to get to Dorn's Deep, which is it's kind of like Moria, but yeah. So it's like Moria, Dorn's Deep. Then from Dorn's Deep, we go to my absolute favorite dungeon ever. I think this place is so cool. It's called the Severed Hand. It's a fortress. Okay. It's 5 towers. So from a distance, it looks like a hand coming out of the ground. The myth, the ology, and everything surrounding this place, I'm so excited to go here and go over that with people because it's so cool to me. And
cool.
It's fantastic.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, so that's the game. Actually, wait, what's... Oh, yeah, from here, from the Severed Hand... No, we do Severed Hand next, sorry. Severed Hand's next, then it's Dorn's Deep. Yeah, Severed Hand is next, so that's exciting.
Cool. There it is.
Yeah. So the thing is that when we get the Heartstone Gem from Ixaname, we have to bring it to someone that's at the Severed Hand, and they will help us with using the gem. So exciting. So yeah, I'm going to save it here. We're going to do the end game next week. So join us again, where we have Kamachi Brave from Twitter joining us. All right, thanks everyone. Thanks. Thanks, Connor.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Come back again.
Anytime.
Good night.